I'm a big YouTuber.
I literally cover court cases for a living.
I'm gonna give you my ID.
I cover the court cases for a living.
Yeah, what up, y'all? Welcome to Crown TV. I am the Crown Prince, a.k.a. Mr. Anti-Goofy. You know what not to do in my comments. Shout out to the Anti-Goofy gang. We on our way to 20,000. We in the building. If you want to donate to the channel and you really gang, instead of the super chat, hit up the Cash App gang. Yeah, what up, y'all? We back. As y'all can see, I'm at my live desk right now. It's late night right now. Y'all will probably see this in the morning, probably in the form of a premiere. I was going to go live in the morning, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So I just set it up like this. So it will kind of be like a live and people can interact and so on and so forth. I wanted to add some or make some updates, some changes to the calendar based upon some new information that I got today. And also I want to touch on something very important in Kodak Black's case. So this is multiple cases that I'm dealing with right now, and each one is not that lengthy of a thing to talk about. So I'm doing it all in one video. Therefore, I don't have to spread them out, and everybody could get all of this information at one time. The one thing I did want to say before I get started is that the other day I did a video and it was on Mel's letter, Mel Matrix. It was on his letter that he wrote to the judge. And since then, I've seen that letter start to circulate. I've seen people start to do some strange and offensive and weird things with that letter. And this is in no way me telling anybody what to do on their platform. This is just a suggestion. And that suggestion is have some decency. Have some decency, have some respect, especially if you are a person who is from the streets or claiming to be from the streets. Then you probably been in this situation before, and you probably stood in front of a judge or wrote a letter to a judge, and it probably wasn't this gangster, tough guy persona that y'all putting across the internet. You probably were asking for leniency quite much in the same way. So I understand YouTube, and I understand what audience y'all are targeting when y'all do this, and they probably think that that is the coolest thing in the world. But you know, if you are really from the streets and you really lived that life and you really stood in these courtrooms, you know that what you're doing is not cool. So that's just a suggestion. Have some decency, have some respect, and have some self-respect, and don't do that, man. Like, there's a lot more things you could do to entertain than play with people's lives and mock people who are losing 10, 15 years of their life and not being able to be around their family, children, etc. I don't want to go too long with that. I just wanted to touch on it. So let's get to the updates as far as we have them, and I don't want to make no mistakes right here. Okay. The first update is for Fubanga. Now, we have Fubanga scheduled for October 22nd for sentencing. He just put in this request to have his sentencing adjourned until December. He has not gotten an answer yet. So this is a question mark right now. We still have him on the calendar for the 22nd right now until the judge either confirms or denies. So right now we still got him at the 22nd, but I don't think he's going to have a problem getting an adjournment. I think this would be his first one. So he'll probably end up getting this adjourned, especially with his lawyer's availability. He'll probably end up getting it adjourned until December. But for now, it's a question mark. The next thing is Bat. Bat was scheduled to go on the 24th. We had him down for the 24th on our calendar. He just got an adjournment. If you can see it at the bottom right there where it says granted. He now moves back to November 18th. So Bat will go November 18th instead of October 24th, and that's for sentencing. The next one is going to be AR Ab's trial date. So AR Ab has got a date. I put this up on YouTube on my community tab, but I don't know how many people actually see the community tab. So I wanted to throw these in this video also. So Ab's jury selection will be on October 31st. It will begin, and then his trial will begin on November 4th. I'm looking into some things that might help me cover this. I will let y'all know how that goes and how that, as I progress, and let y'all know how that progresses. Sorry. So Ab's jury selection will be October 31st, and his trial will begin on November 4th. Next is Kodak Black sentencing is coming up, and his sentencing is going to be on November 13th. So he will get sentenced on November 13th. And the thing that I wanted to touch on about this is that Kodak Black is going to be getting a lot of help from the government in this case for his cooperation. And I say that, I want to make sure that I say his personal cooperation. For people that don't understand, there is a difference between cooperating with the feds and getting somebody jammed up, and your personal cooperation, which is basically just taking responsibility for your own actions. And the reason why I wanted to touch on this is because it gives insight into some other cases that people may be confused about as to how people went into certain cases and came out with certain sentences. So this is a good reference point for how the feds work, really. And Kodak Black, before I show y'all, Kodak Black has a gun charge in Broward County. He has a gun charge at the border that he now has a case in Buffalo, New York for. He has a gun charge from the gun that he was caught with when he was apprehended as he was being picked up for the charges in this case. He also has his case in South Carolina. We won't go into that, but he has that case. And then he has the cases of these guns from this particular case being found at crime scenes of real live shootings. So Kodak Black has a lot going on right now, and the feds are still giving him a lot of help for what they are calling his cooperation, and I want to show y'all that. I'm reading from number 6 right here. It says the United States agrees it will recommend as sentencing that the court reduce by 2 levels the sentencing guideline level applicable to the defendant's offense pursuant to Section 3E1.1 of the sentencing guidelines based upon the defendant's recognition and affirmative and timely acceptance of personal responsibility. If at the time of sentencing the defendant's offense level is determined to be 16 or greater, the government will make a motion requesting an additional 1-level decrease pursuant to Section 3E1.1 of the sentencing guidelines, stating that the defendant has assisted authorities in the investigation or prosecution of the defendant's own misconduct by timely notifying authorities of the defendant's intention to enter a plea of guilty, thereby permitting the government to avoid preparing for trial and permitting the government and the court to allocate their resources efficiently. Now, what's going on here is that they are saying by Kodak taking a plea. And I want to remind y'all, Kodak is facing 10 years in this one case. He's facing 10 years. So what they are saying is that by him cooperating, by him admitting his guilt, they are willing to drop his sentencing guideline level down twice. And if by chance, even with those two drops, if he is still sitting at a guideline level of 16 or higher at sentencing, they are willing to drop it another level. So the latest I've seen is that Kodak Black might actually get off with 15 to 20 months. 15 to 20 months. Barely 2 years. And he got all of these guns and all of this stuff going on outside of this case. So I just want to be clear what's going on. And I want to show everybody that just because something like this happens, it doesn't necessarily mean that that person is snitching. I know we quick to throw it around. We want to throw it around. It's fun to label somebody, but you don't really know what's going on unless you read the paperwork and see what's going on. We have no reason to believe that Kodak Black told on anybody. So I just wanted to show y'all that just so y'all could see, that it happens. Now, I wanted to show y'all the calendar graphic. So this is what the calendar looks like right now. This is October. We got Roe Murder on the 10th. We got Male Matrix on the 17th. We got Fool Banger questionable on the 22nd. That's the one that I told y'all he's looking for December, but we haven't got an answer on that yet. Now, November looks like this. We got AR Ab trial starting on the 4th. We got Drama and Kuda B getting sentenced on the 6th. We got Kodak Black getting sentenced on the 13th. And we got Bat getting sentenced now on the 18th. So that's what the calendar looks like for November. That's what it looks like for October. And we back. So hopefully that was clear for everybody. Y'all should expect a few videos today. I think that's about it. Catch us on the Patreon. Anybody who want to check us out on the Patreon, paperwork is available over there. Anytime I do a video where there is paperwork involved, y'all could immediately go over to the Patreon and get the paperwork free of charge. So I think that's all for the announcements. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe if you are not a goofy. If you are a goofy, you know the rules. It's the Crown Prince. Peace.
On a Friday night at 9 o'clock, hundreds of kids who don't have to be here. You'd think this would be the last place they'd want to be. But here in Newark, they're in here because of what's out there.
Anything that keeps me off the street, I'll do. Like, besides doing anything wrong, like selling drugs and all that stuff. I'm not into that.
If I come here, I would see, like, friendly faces.
Gun violence, like, out there. They fighting, being shot.
Inside the walls of West Side High, every Friday night until 11 p.m., it's a space free of fear. Within these walls, kids can shoot pool, play video games, hit the hardwood, practice cheers, or even lay down track in a recording studio. Within these walls, they can laugh. It's called the Lights On program, now in its 4th year, and it's open to everyone. Nadia Camacho graduated in 2008.
If it was around back then, I think that we wouldn't have lost so many of my classmates. Like, if we have a class reunion now, a lot of my classmates wouldn't be there.
I haven't lost any more kids to gun violence since we started doing the school year.
Principal Akbar Cook says you can't ignore the results. If you remember him, that's because last summer, Eyewitness News told you about a free laundry room he installed in school. Students bullied because of dirty clothes, resulting in chronic absenteeism. Principal Cook says there's been a 10% increase in daily attendance since.
I was finding out just from being a principal that the kids don't eat during the weekends.
They also serve hot meals to kids on Friday nights. During the summer, they do this 3 nights a week. It's all made possible by donations from the community and alumni. It's kind of amazing what a school can become when people care about kids who just want a chance.